All right, everybody, welcome to the second edition of TBN Live, TinCanCrew Live, coming to you across Facebook, YouTube, and all across the Tiny Boat Nation. So if you're joining us tonight, we're going to be talking a little bit with the crew about our Black Friday week, our Black Friday giveaways, and also what we got going on across pretty much all the entire crew, from Chris in Georgia to Eric in Illinois, Mike's out in Arizona. We got JDS Outdoors, John Steer will be joining us, Minnesota/Florida transplant now, as well as some others. So thanks for filtering in here, guys. To jump in the giveaway real quick for the Black Friday giveaway, you can visit the website. That's going to end tonight, but also post where you're from. So I'll get some questions coming in right now already. Post where you're from, where you're watching across the Tiny Boat Nation, and we're going to give away a couple gift cards to the website here before the end of the night. So drop those comments below, give us a couple likes. We appreciate it. So let people filter in here. Jason, thanks for joining us from Texas. Spartanburg, South Carolina. Jerry. Awesome. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. So we got some people in here. Let's get it started. So everybody, we got Sended John Boats, Chris Simmons in here. We got Eric, Fuming Boats in Illinois. And then we got Mike hanging out in Arizona in the tbnation.net F350, F350 suites. So what's up, guys? Chris, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Hanging in there. It's beautiful to spend a night with you guys. So, Mike, how's it doing, brother?
You know, it's all right. No
Trying to
complaints
see
other
the-
than, you know, there's a light issue here, and I have to fix that next time I stream from the truck. But, you know, I'm here in spirit.
Yeah,
Hopefully
that's
it's
all
not,
good.
Well, it's not too glitchy.
No, you're good, man. We can hear you just fine. So, Eric, Daytona Beach, Florida. William Holmes, Missouri. Jeremy Wakefield, 24/7 Boats. You made fun of you. You had some. Chris Simmons had a question for you. John R, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Daniel, Kentucky. River Valley Catfishing from Arkansas. Thanks for joining us, guys. Awesome. Well, thanks for going. Post where you're from. We'll get it rolling. So, wanted to bring on, first off, guys, we're doing the Black Friday giveaway. So we're giving away over $1,000 worth of gift cards. We already gave away half of them earlier today, and then we're giving y'all one last chance to be able to do that tonight. So in the description, you're going to see the link, as well as we'll post it in the comments too. Jump on the website. We're going to give you one last chance to get entered, and then first thing in the morning, we're going to draw the last half of those gift cards for our Black Friday week special. So jump on there, and then we're also going to give away a couple tonight from people commenting where they're from. So we got anybody from international? We got any Australians? Last time we did this a couple nights ago, we got some Aussies on there. We even got somebody from Japan, New Hampshire, Bryan, Texas, Human, Arizona. Awesome. Well, I'll get us started, guys. Something that we love to do at TV Nation is empower people to help build their own boats, and that's something that Eric at Fuming Boats has been doing an awesome job of, especially on Instagram, and has quit his day job to service tiny boaters full time in renovating and doing some pretty badass John boat, bass boat conversions and deep V's and jet boats. So wanted to let Eric jump in, share a little bit about what his latest project is and what's going on at the shop. So Eric, man, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'm getting moved over here. That's the big update. So I just got some more shop space, and man, aside from eating some Thanksgiving turkey, I just been like moving boats around frantically. You can see we got the first 5 in the shop here, and we got a couple more to get in here. And the new shop's just gonna enable us to be able to do twice as many projects as we had going before. So that's a huge gift to be able to keep growing. And also anybody, I'm not much on the YouTube side of things, so maybe I don't know how many people are going to know me and know what I'm doing, but obviously if you do, you've seen that I just released my first product, and I'm so excited about that, getting to finally get something up and out there in the world on the TBN site. So I can talk a little bit about that if you like, Nick.
Yeah, share it with us, man. We got it there in the shop. I'll bring it up here on the page real quick. And then if you got it there in the shop to share, man, let us know. So, guys, this is one of the Black Friday week special items is Fuman's new jump seats. These are pretty rad if you can't see them there on the screen. Just like you see in those $75,000 walleye boats, to be able to conserve space, you're actually being able to put that in your own tiny boat build. So bring up a couple more photos here. You can see one of the builds there. Folds flat. You'll be able to maximize that deck space. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, man, if you got it in the shop there, Eric, jump on and show us, man, what you got going on in there.
Yeah, go ahead and stop me if you can't hear me. I'm going to flip around my camera so I can show you.
Yeah, you're good.
Nope, guess I'm not. All right, here it is. So this is the stowable jump seat. You can see it's got these nice L brackets here. They're all riveted in with stainless rivets and a nice powder coated cinch clamp on the front of it, so that when it's closed, you can cinch it tight. Mm-hmm. And then this wall right here, you're just gonna rivet into the face of your sidewall or your bench seat or wherever you're sticking it. And then, like I said, that cinch strap ties it down tight so you can walk across. And those L brackets keep it nice and solid for you. Let me walk around to the boat. I got one. Got them installed in, so you can see that as well.
Nice. Let's see this. So this is the old shop, or is this the new shop?
No, this is the new shop. Still getting set up. We've just been here a couple of days, so it's kind of you can see we got some sweet steel shelving running the length of the shop, a nice loft in the back. We just got this 1950s Starcraft project in here, and here's the Tennessee boat. A little dirty right now, but here's where the jump seats are installed. This was kind of our test project to see how they'd work and see what we needed to, I don't know, remedy, if anything. One thing that this boat proved a little bit was messing around with those cinch straps and just getting that part locked in. But you can see there, like you showed in that picture, they really do level nicely with that back deck, and they're super comfortable. Those 3-inch, I mean, it's premium. It's about as premium as you can get on the marine cushion side of things. It's a 3-inch high density marine foam, and it's marine vinyl as well. And the American supplier where we get those cushions, he's making those out of Texas, and he said they float around for 10 years and still look exactly the same, look brand new. So that's a huge encouragement to me. And we're trying to do the cushion side, you know, as a premium option. But the beauty of these is they also fit a standard throwable like cushion, the PFDs, so that if you don't want to pay for the premium cushions, you can go buy a $10 cushion, or you can buy them through us if you like, and those just attach directly to the back of that seat. And then this boat specifically has a live well, has live wells down in the inside there. So, but that's the jump seat.
Awesome, man. Cool to see that. We got to see that in person in Tennessee. I don't know, Mike or Chris, you guys get to sit in those seats at all when we were down in Tennessee?
I did. They were actually really nice. Eric, you had somebody in the comment section asking, can you stand on it so they can see how much it will compress?
It won't compress because of the L brackets, but I mean,
it doesn't compress at all.
Get up there and show them anyways.
Yeah, man. Let's bring that question up here, and then I'll put you on full screen.
I mean, I probably would sit down on the ground, but or sit on the tent. Oh yeah, there it is. Right on there. Yeah, no. By the time the cushions sit together, Gabe, the rim of the top hatch is already sitting into those L brackets, those zigzag brackets, and that's what actually gives them the rigidity and strength. So the cushion's not taking the brunt of the weight; they don't sink.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great question though, Gabe. Thanks for asking that. And if you guys got any questions here on the stream, feel free to drop them in the comments. We're here to answer them. This whole show is based off of you guys. So if you got questions, we're here to answer them. Bass Hunter, pricing on them. So retail pricing on those flush mount jump seats is $4.99. And we're doing a Black Friday special is $399. So if you jump on, it's $100 off for Black Friday per seat. So if you jump on the TBN website, you'll find them right here. And along with all the other stuff we got going on, we had a bunch of great brands help us with Black Friday specials to be able to pass on to you guys. So we have, you jump on the site, go to the store, Black Friday deals, or the front page, and then you'll see all the items we got on Black Friday, which is quite a bit. Pretty much anything you could want to put in your boat, flow right live well systems, Nate's dry hatches. The jump seats are right here. They're the third item there. Even our new, custom hats, some new hats we got rolling out as well. So they're all there. We got $100 off for the rest of the weekend through Monday for the Black Friday sale, and that goes for all those other items as well. So great question, guys. You jump back onto here. Awesome. John R. Yeah, the deck space is huge, especially if you only got a 14-foot boat. Being able to maximize your deck space.
Yeah.
It's huge. Let's see. Someone on Facebook said, what's the dimensions? In the nice way of putting it, what are the dimensions for your rear end to be able to sit in that seat? What's the max size of a rear end to sit in those seats?
Oh,
it's actually pretty wide.
Yeah.
because that was a concern for Eric here, that he didn't want to start pigeonholing people. Like only certain people could actually sit in the seat. So it actually takes a pretty wide person, I think.
Yeah, the trouble with them is that, like a normal cushion on top of a bench seat or something, you can sit on a tiny cushion, but when you're sitting down inside of a box, you have to have room for your hips. And so I think a lot of people don't realize, when we started designing this, it was like you want it to be small because you're trying to be able to fit it in a bench or fit it in a small area. But the reality is you've got to have at least enough space to be able to get down in there. Let me grab a tape quick and I'll just confirm over here. I want to say it's 22 inches across, and then you've got those L brackets that stick out a little bit on either side. Sorry, bear with me here. Yeah, so it's about, the actual seat is about 22 across in depth. And then the brackets come out another inch or so, but it is comfortable. I'm a tiny guy over here. I'm like 150 pounds, but I've had guys, I don't know. I feel like 250-pound guys have also sat in it and said, yeah, that's not bad. That's comfortable. I can enjoy this and fish in it. So we'll see. Obviously, time will tell kind of what the reality is for guys. But eventually, if we can sell enough of them, we'll offer them in custom sizes and be able to adjust as needed.
Yeah.
I'm 240 and I sat in one and it was perfectly fine for me. I could have sat in it all day.
240, 250, I didn't have a problem.
Yeah, one of my thighs weighs 150, man. So that's all right.
Eric, well, you got that one on that bench sitting there. You might want to flip it over and show everybody what's the best way to install it, or so they can kind of plan their boat build out for when they buy them and get them and know how to install them.
Yeah, because that's a 1648. You have the 2-in, right?
Yeah, that 1648 has plenty of room in it. I want to say that 1648 has really wide gunnels. They're like almost 12 inches on either side. And then there's still another 6 inches between the jump seats. So my guess is you got to have at least a boat that's maybe a 40-inch bottom, but it just really depends on that gunnel width, the beam, obviously. But on installing them, it's actually pretty simple. They're just like Nate's drop-in lids. There's an 1.5-inch flange that runs all the way across, and it goes all the way around. So on the back side, you also have a flange that runs the length, and then on the front, we gave you the same thing here. You can see this is also a 1.5-inch flange, and then this is as well. And so on the Tennessee boat, we kind of played with the idea of riveting it on the outside, which isn't originally how they were designed. They're meant to be behind that sidewall, so it just looks flush. But we thought they looked kind of cool, and we were also mounting them above on the outside of a live well, so we thought it made more sense to just rivet it on the outside. But obviously, you can do it either way. But yeah, pretty simple riveted installation, just like a lid. You just got to cut a 3-sided box, a 3-sided opening.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up real quick again here on the screen real quick. and get this. Here we go. So yeah, you can see the layout there, a little bit of a bird's eye view of that 1648 setup, and where it does have some pretty wide panels here on the side. But I mean, you can't.
Yeah, it has those wide. That's like with like the steering column, all the cables running through.
Yeah.
No, those are custom fabricated, huh?
Yeah, these are.
Yeah, those are.
I love how the rods. You can actually put the rods through the console. That's pretty rad. I like that a lot. But yeah, you can see where he talked about the gaps and needing the exact space. But those are pretty dang flush. So those are pretty cool. Say that. Let me get this off the screen here.
Thanks, boys. Yeah, and then obviously, as with any new product, like I'm looking forward to trying to help guys install these well. So if you have any questions or comments, feedback, feel free to reach out to me or any of these guys. Obviously, we'll help you figure out how to install those well and make them work for you.
Nice. Awesome. Eric, man, thanks for joining us tonight, dude. I know you've been slam busy getting moving there in the new shop, but it's exciting that you're moving on up, man, getting some more square footage. You keep doing more boats. So keep up the good work, dude.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night.
Oh, man.
See you, Eric, man. Right away, man. We'll see
you, Eric.
See you next time.
Nice. All right. Jump us back in here. So for everybody that's joining us, thank you. Give us a couple thumbs up. Give us a couple likes. That helps out everybody here. As well as if you're just joining us, we are going to be away a couple.
Likes help the chat trend.
Yeah.
Likes help the stream get out. So
give us a few thumbs up.
Give us some likes, guys.
But if you are new to the stream, we are giving away a couple of tvnation.net gift cards tonight as part of our Black Friday giveaway. So drop in the chat where you're from, where you're watching from across the Tiny Boat Nation, and we're going to give away a couple of those before the end of the night. As well as if you jump on the website, you're going to see the entry for the Black Friday giveaway. We still got about $500 in gift cards to give away there as part of our Black Friday week sale. So if you're new, jump on there now. So if you got questions, guys, drop them in here. We're going to help answer them. So Chris, I know people, watch your funny videos all the dang time, especially on TikTok now. But what's new in your life, man? Everybody start dropping some questions in here. We'll get them queued up. But in the meantime, tell us what's the latest at Send It John Boats.
Just finished up the 16-foot boat, the Project Bottomland Bateau. So it is completely done. About to start doing some motor testing on it. So I got a video on the turf that I used in it coming out. I got a video on all the electronics coming out. And then just kind of a overall like little knick-knack things that I finished up. But the video I'm looking most forward to is I'm going to do a full walk around video on that boat of everything I screwed up in that build along the way during the process, and everything I wish I could have done different. And then we're going to go through a cost breakdown of what everything cost and, time that I spent on it, so people can have a idea of that kind of stuff going forward. Then let's see, we've got the casket boat is about to get started, and we got some pretty cool motors coming in. I got some top secret stuff working right now. I'm pretty excited about.
So for anybody who doesn't know who Chris is, so if you followed us and you followed our crew builds, then you know who Chris is. And if you're from Georgia, especially from North Georgia, you probably know who Chris is. But we've been wanting to collaborate with Chris for a while. That's why we wanted to get the live stream like this, so we could have a panel and you guys could actually see who we kind of network with, because YouTube's kind of pigeonholes people toward specific views. But yeah, Chris, we wanted to get him on. He's really big into mud boats, mud motors, surface drives, longtails, beaver pods, all those things. He's all about sending it. So if you watch his videos, some of the things he does in his videos are pretty questionable in terms of safety, personal safety, and I personally don't have the guts to do a lot of what he's done. So if you ever want to see content like that, you should definitely check his channel out and subscribe. He's also pretty funny. It's not that funny in real life, but like on his videos, he's a true story. True story, guys.
It's only going to get more stupid as we go on.
Yeah. So those things I really want to be there to film, but we'll see. We'll see as time goes on.
Yeah. What's this build I'm showing right here, Chris? Is this
That's the 16-foot boat that I just finished. That's the
Okay.
Project Bottomland Bateau. It has
Do
been
you
a
see Chris there with the
2-year-long
pink uniform?
build.
The Viking hat. You make
Yes.
make the intro a little longer. All right.
Gotta love the unicorns.
Is that Surface Drive? Is that the one from Harbor Freight?
No, that's actually a long tail, but yeah, that's the 22 horsepower from Harbor Freight. That's the one that has caught on fire and has left me stranded almost every time I took it out until I rebuilt it.
You need a fire extinguisher with you? Put it on the boat?
I do. I always carry a fire extinguisher now.
Do you have it on fire on video?
No, it actually caught on fire. Like, so what we were doing is I was doing this prop test video. I had a company send me a stainless steel prop to see if I could destroy it. And I was like, all right, cool. So during the middle of testing, the carburetor flooded and I was trying to get it fixed, and I had just turned the camera off, and I was trying to crank it up and had too much gas in the carburetor, and just went up in flames right in front of my eyes. I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me.
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
That's quite funny.
Well,
yeah, AZ Longtail said down in the comments, the U.S. Coast Guard's ratings are just suggestions. That is 100% true.
Yes, funny.
All right, guys, I'm gonna jump off this your video here real quick. We got some questions wandering in, and then also we have John Steer from JDS Outdoors waiting in the waiting room to join us. The Deer Beer from the show Deer Beer and Ope, but that's just my joke. Let's see, Suriname, South America. All right, that's where it was. I thought that was Japan yesterday. That was South America. I don't know my South American countries apparently. All right, guys, if you got questions, drop them.
Let's address some of the comments while John joins.
Yeah.
Let's see what it says here. So there's a pretty big one from a Facebook user, anonymous. Fix that. If you're on Facebook and you want to have a shout out, you gotta put your name. Say, Brian here. Okay. So Facebook user wondering if there are issues with YouTube. That's because I'm subscribed to all your pages and Fire, and also sweet. When videos go up, the only one I get 100% of the time is Patreon. Yeah, we can't explain the YouTube algorithm. It's a complicated thing. Oh, it's not. These last few months have also been the most terrible for us. Like the fall is not great for tiny boats.
Yeah.
No,
I think the notifications thing definitely has to do with how many people you're subscribed to, right? It's not going to send you.
It has a lot to do with how fast the video trends. But just for everybody, I post one at least once a week, sometimes 2 or 3. Like this last video didn't trend at all, so YouTube probably didn't tell a lot of people. So it's just the beginning of another series. Sure. All right. So Calvin Handy, you send it all the time with your tracker topper 1036. All right. I personally won't
see some videos.
I personally won't touch a 10-foot boat. Will not do it.
Man, I got one. It is so sketchy. That is the sketchiest boat on the planet.
All right. Brian Saza from Los Banos, California. What's going on, man? Jason, I don't want to pronounce your last name because I don't want to offend you. But how about that metal brake? I got a $50 metal brake from Harbor Freight. That thing's built me some stuff.
We need a Harbor Freight sponsorship is what we need. We need a Milwaukee sponsorship.
Yes,
Harbor Freight sponsorship.
I thought about it. I'm more interested in Harbor Freight sponsoring me because it's like right across the street.
I spend so much money at Harbor Freight. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Harbor Freight's got a lot of my money. They even offer a credit card now. I declined. That's a rabbit hole to no end right there. So.
All right. So somebody asked, "Are we going to get a teaser on secret projects?" Yeah, I can give you a little bit of a teaser. So one of the long tails that I'm building now is going to be double the fun of a regular long tail. I'll put it that way. And then the next one I'm working on is going to be actually an inboard mud motor. And it's going to be a surface drive, but the engine is going to be inboard and it's all going to be hard mounted. Not sure what boat we're doing it on yet. I've got two potentials, but that's going to be the next. So if you ever seen the Mud Sharks, they run the I think it's the LS1 motor they run in those, but it's going to be built very similar to a Mud Shark.
Like a DIY Mud Shark, man. Those things are
Basically
pretty PA boats.
It's going to be a redneck version of a Mud Shark.
I love it, man.
Hey, Dr. Kron, can you message us on Facebook? We did try to reach out to you via message here on YouTube, but it's you know, the messaging system on YouTube is not great. So if you can message us on the Facebook, on our Facebook page, our official page, and we can maybe respond to you a little bit more appropriately, because I know you're pretty close to me, only 2 hours away. So to talk about stuff. Just want to, because I know he's asked that for like 2 chats in a row.
Yeah, no, of course.
Okay.
We do got a couple other good questions here before we'll jump in. And actually, I'll bring in John here, and then I got a couple good questions. Gabe has a question about a 16-foot center console Gregor Seahawk. So that's something that maybe Mike, you or John can touch on, being a deep V style boat.
Okay.
So, but let me jump. Let's bring on John here real quick from the Great White North. John, what's up, man? Can you hear us okay?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Golden. Awesome, man.
Sweet.
So, but how's your week going, man? I know you're still between Florida and Minnesota, back and forth.
Currently in Wisconsin, and 3 days from now I take off for Florida. So excited.
Nice, man. Awesome. Well, what's the latest with you, dude, in projects wise, and then we'll jump in here to some of the questions.
Well, I have a 16-foot Sylvan deep V that I have sitting in the back. I don't know exactly when I'm going to get it down to Florida, but I'll probably end up buying a boat in Florida before I get that one down there, after I get settled into the house. So currently just making some weird YouTube content to fill the time, but boats they're coming back. So picked up some new tools, getting kind of getting excited. So
Nice. If you guys don't know John, go check out JDS Outdoors on YouTube, and he's got some pretty badass Jet John setups. He's a wild fabricator, so it's pretty cool to see. Pretty cool to see his work. So
okay,
yeah, jet boats are my favorite.
Regarding the center console question, the boat has to be really stable for a center console. It's got how it rolls. Like, all 16-foot boats are not created equal. So, I mean, really, for a console in general, I mean, a center console on a 16-foot boat is really narrow, I would think. You can't do a whole lot to it. You maybe add a front deck and a back deck, but the sides around the center console have to pretty much be untouched. You can't really thicken them.
What is the obsession with center consoles? Like, I have never understood why people like center console boats so much, but I see it on the Facebook group all the time, and I get requested for it. I'm like, what is the deal?
I think for flats boats, a lot of people like it because you can just see.
Well, and also,
yeah, I never really got. I mean, I don't know. I would in a 16-foot boat, I would recommend a side console so you can actually get through. You have like a full usable space there on the left or the right. Obviously, probably the left, but you can kind of move through, and then you actually have room to build a rod locker or build, extensions, stairs, coolers, etc. You have places for batteries still right there.
Center consoles work good for the solo fisherman. That's kind of, if you like to fish by yourself, that's where I see they come in handy, because you keep the weight centered in the boat with just you in it. So I've only driven one center console.
Yeah, they're much more popular in the ocean, like offshore stuff, or inshore. And I don't do a whole lot, and so I would not know why they're much more popular there versus a side console. I would just imagine the waves, right?
Yeah, Gabe.
I mean, look at those bars there on the side of that boat right there. That's ocean stuff. You don't ever see bars like that in freshwater.
Yeah. Gabe, where are you located at, Gabe? Like, are you planning to take this on saltwater, or are you planning to do, what's your plans for that boat?
Because
you can see, I mean, this is that 16-foot Seahawk. It's a pretty dang deep. I mean, it's designed for big water. So you can see where the center console would come into play if you like to striper fish or you're saltwater fishing and you need to be able to access walking all the way around and fighting a fish all the way around the boat.
Also,
But,
people who like to fly fish like center consoles, something where you don't accidentally catch the console with a rod. Like it's centered behind you. So if you got like people with pulling platforms or elevated platforms for fly fishing, they do like the center consoles.
yeah.
Also,
So Gabe does want to try and make it more of a bass boat, so we're on the right track.
If you want to make it more of a bass boat, Gabe, get rid of the center console. Don't get rid of like the console, but move it to the side. We're actually going to have a project where we make some, and I think we actually even sell some. They're not officially up on the site, but we do. TH Marine makes like a micro console right now. Actually, I think on our website we might have it.
Yeah, we have their basic little
their
bolt
basic
together console,
small boat center console somewhere, not side console.
Yeah, side console.
Console. Yeah. Yeah, bass boats don't have center consoles for a reason. So yeah.
Gets in the way a little bit if you're aiming to bass fish. It's
That's
great for other types of fishing.
That's a big. Yeah, if I had a picture of myself having a center console, I'd have a very, very basic front and back deck, and everything else would just be wide open.
Yeah.
Like you're just throwing fish on the ground, you're slitting them up, and they're just bleeding everywhere. You just want to wash everything off. Have a center console. Yeah.
Hey, it sounds like it would be a good mud boat project, because like every time I bring anything up, like the last couple of videos I've done, man, I've gotten tons of comments. People are like, build a center console boat. And I'm like, why? What is the deal? Like, what is so freaking awesome about a center console that everybody wants to see? I mean, it's gonna happen. I'm probably gonna do it on the Mud Shark lookalike boat, but
I will be doing a center console on this bay boat. Who knows? That's like 2 boats away though. So when I do a flats boat, we will be doing a center console.
Yeah,
because
you got all those. You got all those guys in Georgia, right? That fish striper fishing, and striper fishing's good with the center
Lake
console.
Lanier.
Yeah, you got the striper fishermen, and then you got people that go down to Florida and fish the flats down there. So I don't know. Mike's right, man. I mean, give the audience what they want.
I guess we're gonna do a mud motor flats boat.
Yeah,
that would be very interesting. There ain't nothing like that out there. I've never seen a mud motor flats boat.
That's what we need then. If it's never been done, that's what I'm here for.
Controls on a mud motor?
Yeah, especially the short tails. A lot of the newer short tails that are coming out are running not really a center console, so to speak, but they're running some type of console, either side or center, to run the remote steering on them. And hell, they're even running dual mud motors. Like I know Prodigy's got a few that are duals. Gator Tail's got some.
Prodigy was running 3.
Those duals sound nasty too.
Crawling across rocks. Like he was trying to screw it up. I don't know. I guess if you have enough money. I don't know. Does it look a little serious?
Yep.
All right, guys. If you got questions, make sure to drop them in the comments so we can help answering them. I'm just going through the comments here and seeing if anybody's got a great question that we can help answer for you. But if you were looking to make Gabe's boat into a bass boat, if you're taking a completely wide open, super deep V boat with that center console, I mean, what would be like the 1 or 2 things that are a requirement besides ripping out the center console and doing a side console setup? What are like the 1 or 2 other like requirements that you would think would be good for Gabe for a boat style setup like his?
Like really just determine how much storage he wants. To add a console, I mean, now that there's jump seats, it makes it a little bit easier. I think of side consoles. You look inside a bass boat, even like a 17-foot bass boat, where say like a Tractor Pro 170, where the storage is just, obviously it's not great in the baseline one. It's super basic, but even in the higher end, like 175, we were at Bass Pro Shops in Peoria. And remember we tried to do that 8-foot rod test, right? And it didn't.
Oh yeah.
I think that some of the other things were just like, it just seemed like real squished, but the console area was all great. But it requires a lot of area for the console to be comfortable and nice. And so everything else starts sacrificing. I think you really see the benefit of a console when the boat's like 19 feet, 20 feet. you start really seeing the benefit of a console boat. I think 18 is still even pushing it. Like when you really want true storage that'll hold any and all tackle and rods, and a lot of it, and where it doesn't seem all bunched up. So I'm going to really start to try and tackle that side console thing for a 1648. And I think with Eric's jump seats, we'll get there. We'll have a better chance now, because the bigger thing is like the seats. I always hated the fact that like you had to have the console. That's one thing, but it's the seats. So a lot of people just do away with the seats and just you sit on the back deck, and you have to deal with what comes with that, just like you sit with a tiller. But I'm thinking the jump seats are going to change the game for sure. Yeah. Now that we can find like drop-in ones.
Yeah. All right, guys. We got a couple.
What do you think? What do you think there, Skippy? I mean, Chris. Sorry, John. What do you guys got?
Yeah, I like consoles, but we got especially with those jump seats. Some things are going to be huge for moving forward and doing all kinds of crazy stuff from here on out. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing with those for sure.
Hey, Dr. Croncron, support@tbnation.net is our website. Our email, by the way.
Yep. So jump on there. You got those questions, pictures, sketches, questions on your boat build. Drop it in there. Either to contact us or just send an email to support@tbnation.net.
Yeah, and we can answer you guys if you guys prefer email and you don't like social media. I know some of you guys are just like anti-Facebook and Instagram, notably for probably good reasons. All right.
So
a center rod locker. Ooh, that's a good question. Matt and a Stanley and a Shansley. Yep. What about a center rod locker front to back? Like all the way through with side openings to the floorboard? Like the floor is the rod locker? I don't know. I'm not quite getting it.
It's probably like the new tracker where they got the big center rod locker that flips open. That'd be my guess on what he's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like how my so the center, like how I did mine on my tracker mic, but then how it has the drop down, that where it goes out like this, but then it drops down. So it's kind of this. The lid is like a 10 inches high, and then it's 90 grain
like an L.
Yeah, kind of like some of those deep V, Lund and low boats, deep V that they have. They're running the rod locker down the center with the angled lid.
We need a picture.
No, you're good. I like those. I've seen those in person. Like in the Northwest, you see a lot of boats like that. You see a lot of like 17-foot deep Vs that are like all fish, all ski, like really multi-purpose boats. And those seem to work really well. Obviously, I've never modded one into my own boat or been a part of a project that has done that. But just seeing it from the OEM side, it's a super helpful way to be able to create a little more storage. And you're able to get the rods, slide the rods in. You don't have to go so much at an angle trying to fit them into the locker. You can, your rods go in a little bit shallower angle because you obviously have chopped out that front part of the rod locker. So that can be helpful when you're cutting down on space, or you're trying to run your rods between, say, two consoles. If you're running like a 16-foot dual console, all fish style, all family fish and ski style boat. So, but we do got some really good other questions coming in too, guys. Off of kind of dovetailing off of Gabe's question here, we do have someone that's talking about their. I'm trying to find it here. Props on his, I think he's got a 15-foot or a 14-foot low. There we go. JRZ, back with the question. He's got a 15-foot smoker craft with a 25 horsepower motor. Suggestions on a different prop. He has trouble getting on plane right now. So, somebody want to cover real quick about
9
the motor, getting on plane.
Try 9 pitch.
Yeah. Well, that's what he has right now. So he has a 12 1/4 by 9. And he's having trouble getting on plane, so
you can't get on plane?
Yeah.
What, with a 25 horse, and you still can't get on plane with a 9 pitch? Like, I'd have to know, like, what do you have in the boat?
Yeah.
Because the 9 should be able to plane, I think, significant weight. And then a 9 pitch is about as low as you can go for a 25. You can't really go much lower. If you go to an 8 pitch, that's kind of, I don't know, you run out of RPMs too quick. I mean, at that point in time, you might want to, it would just depend on what you have in the boat. You might have to look at a bigger motor.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, that 25, is it a new 25? Is there a underperforming cylinder in there? It seems maybe the motor might seems like the motor's not running at optimum performance if it's not even planing with a 9 pitch. 9 pitch is really low.
Yeah, what do you think
25
about
horse.
the mounting on it too? Do you think maybe he's got the motor way too far in the water? Like if he's got a long, like an XL shaft and it really needs a long shaft?
Yeah, I mean, the stock pin trim too, if you have it out too high out, it will never get on plane. So maybe trim pin in one, and if it won't still do it, then trim pin in another one. I mean, also a power tilt. A power tilt is probably going to be your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like a CMC power tilt, because then you can trim in and out. I mean, I suggest anybody who's having issues, like struggling to get on plane with their current outboard on a small boat, to get a power tilt, like a CMC power tilt or an equivalent. And that will help you get on plane. Because you can trim all the way in, and it'll get you on plane, and then you can trim all the way out for the speed until you can't trim, and until obviously you start porpoising. And that's the only other way. Otherwise, I mean, that's a cheaper alternative, probably, obviously, to looking for a new motor, is probably getting a power tilt. And then maybe seeing if the motor is still pushing out a whole 25 horse. So can you get it dynoed? I would take it to get dynoed. A carb Yamaha 25.
Yeah, that thing should plane out no problem with the 15 boat. So definitely.
Yeah. So unless you're like trying to plane a whale in that boat, it should get up on pad. Well, you got like four sandwich eating people in there. You might not be able to get on there, but I mean, if you got two going, I mean, my boat is a 15.5-foot smoker craft. Stupid light. My boat is a 15.5-foot smoker craft, and I have a full kit in it, which is not particularly light. It's lighter than some, not, but two co-anglers and gear and a 6-gallon gas tank, and we can get on plane. We don't go very fast, but. And then by myself, I was getting on plane at like 21 miles an hour on a 9-pitch prop. So that was with a 4-stroke Yamaha. I'm sorry, 4-stroke Merc.
I got somebody asking about the stability of building out a deck in a boat, 1236. So, Mike, what size is the 12 that you just built?
That's a 1232. It was 12 foot long, 3 foot wide. And I would recommend 1232. 12 foot, yeah. A 1236, a true 1236 should be pretty comparable to a 1436 in terms of like rolling stability. It's the pitching that you might run into issues with. I mean, people do it.
Keep the center of gravity low.
It really depends on who you're fishing with. I did on a 1432 for a long time, and when I was by myself, it was fine. But when you got somebody fishing in the back, that's when you got to be careful on anything. I'd say less than 42 inches, really 48. Like 48 is my comfort level of fishing with two people in the boat.
Yeah, 42 inches minimum. I mean, 12 in a 1436, it wasn't terrible. I think 32 inches is really, really just too narrow. The 32 inches is narrow. Like a full 36, the extra 4 inches really does matter.
Oh yeah,
it does. It does.
That's what she said.
No, I think you'll be all right, man. If you want to do it, you got to frame it as light as possible. We have what we call John-Yak kits. They're the lightest framing material we have. We have a whole series of them on YouTube where we did a 1232 tracker topper. And we did press it to the very, very max that we could go on that thing without overweighting it. So
got on that note, Mike, actually there's a good question from Heath. Heath, if you're still watching, we'll bring it up. He has a 1984 Sylvan aluminum that he wanted to change the wood to aluminum, so he's asking what gauge aluminum is the best to use. So
deck or floor.
Wide open question. So based off the Gen X kits, and then of course building around that system. So what are you guys thinking? Heath, we're here to help you.
Is the question on the thing?
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anything that you're not walking on, you can get away with 050 pretty easily.
Yeah.
But anything you're going to walk on, depending on framing, you can go 90 thou or 100 thou. If you want to do wide spacing, you got to go 1/8 inch, which is 0.125. But you can do 90 thou pretty easily as long as you have decent framework underneath it on surfaces you're walking on. Anything you're not walking on is just going to have storage. You can get away with some thinner stuff. So
yeah,
save weight.
I use 090 on all my decks, anything that I'm going to walk on that's unsupported underneath. And then for the flooring, as long as I've got foam underneath it, 050.
I run 063, which is like 1/16 inch thick for pretty much everything. But you have to compensate a lot. You got to add more under supports. You got to the lids can't be as far apart, or you have to make serious under supports for it. So it ends up being close to the same weight as if you just use thicker sheeting. But 063 is easier to use if you don't have a welder. True story. It's like,
and Heath, on all of our kits on TBNation.net, we have all the boat build kits that you're going to need and all the parts and all the different types of aluminum thickness and gauges. But 1/60 for angle, guys. I mean, we're all using really much 1/16 for angle. I mean, once we get away from the deck side of things, the framing side of things, 1/16.
090 is pretty nice stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have the boat with enough displacement, like a very, very big 14-foot boat, or most 16-foot boats have enough displacement to hold 090 or even 1/8 pretty good. But I say for like a smaller 14-foot boat, like the typical 13.5-foot V hull or the 1436, I think 090 and 1/8 start to get a little tedious. That's when you really should start looking at thinner framing, or thinner sheet metal. So that's another big reason. When I start doing bigger boats, I'll probably use. It's a privilege to have a bigger boat. You can use more stuff in it for sure, and it feels better. Gotcha.
No, so Heath, thanks for dropping that question in on us, because we're all about framing out and decking out boats. So if you got any other questions, obviously drop them here in the chat, guys. So you got questions, we're here to help answer them tonight. But also, if you have more in-depth questions and you're looking for more help on your build, just drop us a note at tbnation.net, hit that contact us button, and we're here to help. So we have a whole host of master builders in the Tin Can Crew, to be able to help you guys and help you build your boats. So if you need some more in-depth help, just jump on tbnation.net, hit the contact us, and share with us what the roadblock you're running into in your build, or you're just getting started on your build, and we're happy to help you. So you definitely can get the help that you need. So we can only answer so many questions on the live stream.
Yeah. Matt's got a question for you fancy bass boat boys. He said, any idea for a drop-in locking lid, no hinges, for locking up your center hole when traveling?
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah, I was just reading that too. It is a great idea. There'd be multiple ways you could do it. One would be, it'd have to be obviously custom built, kind of like a lid, like the lid would be without the hinge, but you need the latches on all four sides, or two sides opposing, and then have like some other latch to hold it down to keep it from blowing out. But I think the best way to do something like that would be having four latches, one on each side, so you can lock it. Or make it slide out of the deck, but that would take some serious engineering. More than one way is to skin a cat on that deal. It'd be kind of a good idea, though.
Yeah, Matt, I like that, man. When going to see Mike in Lake Havasu, or going to Clear Lake, California, you definitely need. Sometimes feel like you need extra security on your boat. So I'm all game for that, dude. That's a genius idea. You had to connect with us later on that. If you want something custom fabbed up, one of our guys can fab that up for you. But I think that's a great idea. 4 locks on each side, covers up the complete part of the bottom of the boat, so you can drop stuff in there. You don't have to worry about it getting, obviously it's going to take a crackhead a lot to break into something like that, so you probably catch them outside your hotel room before that happens. But they're
You
pretty.
don't know what they'll go through, man.
Yeah, they're pretty
With quite
ingenious.
speed, like a lot. They're very fast.
We've got a question about how can I make a trailer fit in my garage? Mike, you did a video on that folding trailer tongue, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I got one also on my channel,
fold away trailer hitch. They have bolt-on versions and welded versions. So I thought it was pretty easy as long as you have something that's going to be able to cut through an 1/8-inch steel tube. If you got a nice bandsaw, or I don't know, you need something. If you can cut through
I need to get one of those for my trailer. My trailer is 27 foot long now with my boat on it.
Yeah, the swing away tongues are super easy to do, whether it's bolt on or weld on.
Yeah,
they're pretty good.
Yep, they work great. I've done a couple of them. I do have a video on that also, but mine's weld on.
That's why you see almost all the boat manufacturers now have gone to swing away tongues. Almost every single one of them is a base. I mean, the basic models maybe not, but most boat manufacturers are already coming with the swing away tongues. So, there's just, especially the houses now, they're getting the garages are getting smaller and smaller on these cookie cutter houses and stuff. So,
true story.
It's
Can't
doesn't
stand
leave
it.
you much room. Yeah,
it
doesn't leave you much room. So, let's see here. Any more good questions here? Let's see. Sycamore, why do boats not come with theft alarms? You guys wire up everything else. It's a great question, Sycamore.
Oh, that's complicated right there, a theft alarm.
Yeah. They make the ones where they like have like the lid, essentially like if the lid opens up, it's like a magnetic, kind of like I guess or a sensor portion where if the lid opens up and you're, obviously isn't, I think TH Marine actually makes one that's kind of like that, but they haven't become mainstream because I think they're just not that reliable. Like, they haven't made something that reliable to where it's an option in a boat, a standard option in a boat. I think the Skeeter I-Class at like $80,000 has one, but it's not.
Yeah. I tried those door jamb switches. They rust out. There's problems. So I wonder if they have a good waterproof version. Eventually they'll probably pick up. I don't know if there's a good waterproof version that's easy to install.
Yeah, and reliable too. It's like you're gonna spend $400 on a alarm system, but is it gonna be reliable and stay working? And honestly, like you said, Mike, them crackheads, man, they move fast and they move with a reckless abandon. So are you actually gonna catch them is another question.
I think the better thing to do is, I think TH Marine actually has this, or somebody has it. It's poles, locking poles that
locker bar, yeah.
These locker bars, you got spots where you can lock them on each side of the gunnel or the sidewall, and then you just lock bars. If that's really a big concern for you, theft is a real big thing for you, then it's one more inconvenience to have there. But lock bars work. They do. They're a real thing.
Yeah.
You can also make those. We could probably also make those. Why don't we make those?
Well, it just depends on how you mount them. Like you can have a locker bar, but if you only have 2 rivets and where the locker bar mounts into the boat, really that's the weak point, is where it actually mounts into the boat. So it's like you can have the locker bar, but if you don't have really great mounts or a great place to mount it, then you're screwed anyways.
Yeah.
A quick grinder or a couple hammer throws and that thing's wrecked and your crackhead's off with thousands of dollars for the rod and reel. So, but
true story.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, welded boats or riveted boats?
Welded. They're always thicker.
Yeah, most of the mud boats and like the backwater boats, those are all thicker. Those are 1/8 inch or very, very close to it, welded. All the Grizzlies, all the Roughnecks.
Yeah. Great
and
question.
On the contrary, if you're going to be carrying it, like since it's backwater duck ponds, riveted works. But all riveted boats will eventually leak. They're a little bit more maintenance, but there's no. It's you got a boat. It's nice just to have a boat, whether it's welded or riveted. But if you want to beat it up and be hard on it, go welded.
Yeah. Great question here.
All riveted for me. I can fix a riveted boat out on the water usually. I can't fix a welded boat.
Duct tape. Duct tape will get you home, man.
Flex seal
tape, baby.
No, not Flex Seal.
That too.
If you see the water that I run at Lake Havasu trying to run up the river with Mike, there's no way I'm running a riveted boat. It's all welded for me, man. That water, when that wind kicks up at Lake Havasu, it's no joke.
You'll be all right.
I trust the welded boat a little bit.
The whole thickness and the manufacturing quality of the boat matters. Like, yeah. So all riveted boats are not created equal. I will test that. So.
No, Lund. I mean, look at Lund's.
Like
man.
I got my Lund or my Smokercraft. My Smokercraft boat it just glides across the water. But I had one of those Valcos or Gregors, or the Valcos specifically, that are real thin, and those are riveted. Those things shudder to no end. They feel like a tin can, and so I think hull gauge matters.
Yeah,
hull gauge matters.
Absolutely.
And then also foam inside the boat determines like how well it rides. Yeah, but like John said, you do have to rivet the rivet. You have to maintenance them, especially if you're hard on the boat, or if you overpower the boat, or if you're running the boat through tons of waves all the time, or if you're hitting stuff.
Yeah.
Or putting big engines on them and slamming it into sandbars and jumping them over logs. Stuff like that.
I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody does that.
No, nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
We got another good question. I ask, outboard tillers are on the leftmost consoles or on the right. Is that due to prop rotation? That sounds like a fancy bass boat question.
Most tiller outboards are on the left.
Well, like the tiller, the tiller for the outboard is technically on the left.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
It probably is for
rotation. They have been doing away with that. Like all the tillers now are center.
Yeah,
pretty much. I think, right? I mean, most of them. I mean, actually, that's a brand thing because I think Mercury and Evinrude, like, they did them on opposite sides on purpose just to be special.
Yeah, I would think that the prop rotation is naturally going to give you more drag on one side. So having it on your left hand, naturally you're going to be pushing against that steering torque. But most of that on like a console, you don't really have to worry about it unless if you have power steering or hydraulic steering, you never have to worry about it really. But like, you naturally, if you just have cable steering like I have in my tracker, it's a lot easier to turn to the left than it is, or it's a lot easier to turn to the right than it is to turn to the left. That's a fact with the steering torque. So, but also the newer motors too, they've built in, like, it depends on the outboard too. Like the higher you get in the horsepower, they have the curved skeg, which helps counteract that steering torque. So newer outboards have done a lot better job of counteracting natural steering torque than the old school outboards, where you have that little anode tab there, and you can adjust the dial, and that helps a little bit. But the newer outboards have gotten a lot better at building into the lower unit a little bit how to reduce that steering torque.
I had no idea that was even a thing.
Yeah, so it's it depends. If you got a boat that has really bad steering torque, try lifting the motor up too. Like if the more you get that prop out of the water a little bit, even if it's just like half an inch, you're going to get a little less steering torque. So
it's true. Yeah. The trim pin setting, if it's trimmed in too much, you can definitely feel the motor cooling.
And we got a great question here
at the right level.
on Facebook. So someone actually did follow your directions, Chris, and put their name in their question from Facebook. So before we do that real quick, guys, give us a couple likes, give us a couple thumbs up. We appreciate it. Helps get this live stream out. We got another 20 minutes or so here to help answer your guys' questions. So give us a thumbs up and drop your question about your build in the item below. And then if you haven't entered our giveaway, comment where you're from and go to tbnation.net and get entered for our gift card giveaway for Black Friday. So Shane in Scottsdale. Is that the one you see? That's the one I'm looking at. Shane in Scottsdale.
I
can't see the Facebook.
You highlight it?
Yeah, here I'm gonna bring this one up. So it's long, but it's really good.
Yeah,
Shane
that's pretty long, huh?
It takes up all your.
Scottsdale, he's local.
Yeah, I'm planning out my build that I'm doing this winter on a 14-foot Miracraft V-hull. I'm going to put a live well in, have 3 total batteries. I'm curious about how to figure out my weight distribution. Obviously, the 25 horsepower motor on the back and the fuel and trolling motor up front. I'm wondering if I should put the live well up front and maybe put the batteries near the middle under the floor like some old trackers do, or am I totally overthinking it? Great question.
No, that's a pretty serious deal.
Yeah, that's a great question.
I mean, the live well or the battery is in the center on a 14-foot boat. You gotta just choose. Really, if you're gonna be riding by yourself a lot, then put the batteries up front. I think. Well, it depends on what size batteries you're wearing. I mean, you're getting to. Are you getting some high quality batteries? You're gonna be running lead acid batteries or AGM. So I mean, that matters. Matters the size of the live well. I mean, are you gonna be using the live well all the time?
Nice thing about putting a live well up
Are you gonna
front
have
is
a
you can.
coiler most of the time? Like those kind of matter.
Yeah, the nice thing about having a live well towards the front, centered, is you can, if you got too much weight in the back, you can always put water in the live well to bring that bow down too. It's harder to move batteries than it is to add water by flipping a switch.
It's true. True story.
Matt on YouTube asks, any idea for painting over areas on the hull that already has silicone or flexible epoxy? Ha! Finally, a question I can answer. No. Get that crap off of your boat. Do not paint over silicone or flexible epoxy. It will not stay forever. It may initially stick, but after multiple hot and cold cycles from it being hot in the water, hot outside and then cold, eventually it's going to start flaking. Get all that crap off your boat. If you got a leak, fix it.
Nothing sticks to silicone. Nothing.
Yeah.
True story.
But if you got, I see this a lot, and I don't even respond to half the Facebook messages I get about this crap, but if you got a leak in your boat and it's that bad, fix the freaking leak. Don't try to seal it. And another thing is you got to remember, these are boats, and I joke about this a lot. These are boats, not submarines. When we went up in what was it, South Carolina, me and Ryan rode around in that boat all day long with about 7 inches of water in the bottom of it because I've got 9 rivets that are leaking. You'll be fine. We survived. I didn't have a bilge pump in that boat.
You didn't have a bilge pump in that boat.
No, we weren't finished with the boat yet. I had to hurry up and, put the turf in it so we could go to South Carolina. But I was like, whatever, we'll be fine. We didn't
really, if you do have a bilge pump in your boat, you'll be fine.
I got 2 now, but I didn't then.
You'll be all right now. Then.
I still ain't fixed the rivets.
Yeah, your co-anglers in that boat were. They really didn't like that you didn't have a bilge pump in there. They were not digging it.
Oh, that's funny.
All right.
Here's another good question from YouTube. Can a glass boat be built like a tin boat?
Yes, they can.
Hybrid system.
Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of the glass boats have aluminum hatches.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, most of the bass boats now have aluminum hatches. If you watch Brian Latimer's Fulton, how Fulton built him his own bass boat there. Those were aluminum hatches that they carpeted over.
Yeah.
Ranger has aluminum hatches too.
Yep. Skeeter, same thing, man. Skeeter actually has the whole deck. So how we built the Tennessee boat, Skeeter does that. They pre-make literally the whole entire hatch system out of aluminum, and it just sits. They just have it all pre-welded, and they have it standing up on a lift, and they just drop it in the boat and bolt it on. And the whole thing is one big welded dry track system with lids. So totally can be and is being done in professional boats. So you can totally do the same exact thing.
There's also a series, this guy from Australia called Fishing with Timmy Turtle. He did a very cool cold mold of a fiberglass skiff. It was very small though, but it was pretty dope. I mean, I would have done things differently, obviously, but what it takes to actually mold and fabricate and do all that stuff, him and his little buddy, they show you over a series on how to do it.
So and Matt to answer the rest of that, said sometimes the hull is too thin to properly fix it, which is garbage. You can always fix it.
Yeah.
Yep. there's a first part of that question about the glass boats. He's asking if we're ever going to build a glass boat. I know personally I'm going to try to stay away from it, but being I'm going to land of salt water, I might have to start playing with glass boats.
John.
Unfortunately.
Look at that. You gotta expand your realm.
But we do have some guys that like Jeremy Wakefield, really good with glass boats. If you want to see anything pertaining to glass in the near future, check out 24/7 Boats. He does a good job.
Yeah. If I find the right hull, like I just gotta find the right one and I'll go get it and I'll try. It's easier to do that. I thought about cold molding an entire hull, but I also thought about not doing it. So we'll see if I can just find a hull.
Yeah.
He's TL or TPL. He's out of Northern Illinois.
Oh yeah.
He's on Facebook and TikTok and stuff if you're on there.
He was on the chat earlier, 24/7 Boats.
Yeah, Jeremy was on here.
The live stream. Do you want to come in?
Just didn't get a message.
That.
Yeah, I gotta get him on there. I know Anthony was supposed to join us. Got some family stuff popped up. Adam was supposed to jump on here, but I haven't heard back from him yet. Let's see in his message on here. But yeah, Northern Illinois, 24/7 Boats, Jeremy Wakefield. If you need fiberglass stuff done, he's a seasoned veteran for fiberglass.
Absolutely.
Work. So he's awesome. We've done, I've done some projects with him on the gator guards and tracker stuff, and he's done some pretty awesome work. So also, if you got automotive questions or like technical outboards type questions, he's a certified auto tech too. So he knows his engine stuff real well too. So let's see. Got a couple really good questions. We're going to do Dr. Con will answer yours, and then we got another one from Facebook, Jim from West Virginia. Look at that. People are doing just as you said, Chris, putting their name in there, where they're from. All right, so Dr. Con was talking about how do you sit 4 people on the boat. If you're having a smaller boat and you're wanting to take the whole family out, I mean, and Mike, you probably have plenty of experience with this, sitting 4 people on the boat. What's the process with that in terms of getting on plane and things like that?
I would just play musical chairs until it works.
Yep.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Fuman's, those jump seats we were talking about earlier, he had a build. It would take me a little bit to go through Instagram, but he had a build where he put the the jump seats up front. It was really cool. And they were essentially part of the front deck so that he could take people on the boat that sit up front, but they would just flip down and become part of the deck. And that was cool. I thought that was a pretty useful space of needing to make it like a family boat on top of, a usable fishing boat with deck space. So if you're looking
probably
at
the most, sorry.
No,
probably the most compact 4-person boat that I've seen is a 13-foot jet boat. They call mini jets. So you can fit 4 people in them, and they're usually powered by 155 to 300 horsepower inboard jets. And they go
How
out
big is the boat?
13 to 14 feet long.
Really?
So, and then
With
you can fit 4
horsepower,
people. Huh?
14 foot, 13 to 14 foot long with 300, 400 horsepower.
155 to 300 horse, yes. And you can put 4 people in it.
Well,
so it's.
I would really like to see one of those boats.
Well, it's a little bit bigger than the one that I built, my 155 horse 10-footer. But you can do it. So 16 foot should be no problem to fit 4 people in, especially with the jump seats now. So.
Yeah. I would love to take a ride in that boat. That sounds like an absolute blast.
They're fun. They're a lot of fun. It's like a 4-wheel drive boat, an ATV that floats. So
that's cool. All right, here's another good question from Facebook. Jim from West Virginia. So Jim from West Virginia says, I heard in a video, Mike, you were saying that don't charge deep cycle batteries off of your motor. Can you explain a little bit about that?
No, I meant not to charge lithium batteries off your motor. Unless your motor is equipped to do that. So you generally don't see a stock feature like that unless the motor's pretty high end. But there are ways. I think we talked John a little bit about it, or somebody about it, where there's a limiter or a reducer that where it's because of the high output of the lithium battery, it can burn out your alternator. It stops the lithium battery from being able to do that, so you can actually use it as an alternator battery or a starting battery. But I don't know what that part is called or even how to do that. I just know that it exists. But I know I said for most of the small outboards, they're at the bottom of the barrel in terms of like new innovations. So you might not see that for another 10 years in stock inside a portable outboard, but you'll see them in the high output motors for sure.
Yeah, you might have to build.
I would definitely question that. Otherwise, it's just run an AGM. Get a little U1 AGM battery. That thing weighs 25 pounds, and that's all I use. I use a little U1 AGM battery, little tiny battery. So they used to stick in kayaks before the little like lithium equivalents came out that only weighed 9 pounds. Like everybody used a little 25-pound AGM, and that's just all I use for a starter battery. Cranks it up every time, never runs out. It's constantly charging.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Those if you've ever seen Jim answering that question, if you've ever seen the pictures of people's bass boats lighting on fire over the past 5 to 10 years, that is from poorly planned lithium batteries, in the most part. Even if you go to Mercury's website and you check out their their stance on lithium batteries, technically they don't want you to run them on the outboard without a special converter, essentially, because that alternator is not designed to charge lithium batteries. And if you don't have the right charger on a lithium battery, you have the potential to light your boat on fire, because that has happened plenty of times in the big bass boat community over the past 5 to 10 years of people's boats just going up in flames because they do not have the proper setup to properly charge and properly wire lithium batteries. So that's one reason why you can't fly with a big lithium battery on an airplane, is because they can spontaneously combust. So not exactly they're great what they are, but you need to have a special
I hate
setup.
that roll too. It's not very great. Gotta roll like backpacks full of lithium batteries for your cameras.
Yeah, you can't even ship them too. Like we sell the e-propulsion motors, and they the battery pack is massive. It's 1,000, 1,300 whatever watt lithium, and it has to go hazmat technically because it's such a dang big singular lithium battery. So definitely a lot.
But you can run a lead acid battery for your starter battery all day.
Mm-hmm.
All day, tried and true.
Yep.
Probably the most stable thing out there.
Dr. Croncon says he's not that rich. I get that. Nobody wants to spend $2,000 on batteries. Totally get that. Here, Matt Everett has got a great question. He's from Monticello, Florida. Minimum size live well for bass fishing. What kind of boat too, Matt? If you want to drop in there, what kind of boat do you have, really? Because it just depends also on how much space you're working with.
What's like the fish limit? Is it a 3 fish limit on your tournaments, or is it 5?
Yeah, 5 or 3, Matt. Let us know in the chat.
You can get away with a 14-gallon live well on a 3. I say like 5 gallons per fish for a fish that big.
Well, if you're catching donkeys all the time, but I don't think any of us are good enough to be catching donkeys all the time. Well, maybe you, Michael, and catching striper. But yeah, something.
You see the comment that's 2 above that, the attaching a wood framing to an aluminum boat.
Here we go.
No,
that's a good one.
But I would say 15 to 20 gallons. 20 gallons is a really good live well. A 20-gallon live well with a really good plumbing system is very good. That'll hold 5 tournament-ready fish. Just to answer your question in short, with the smallest one you can get away with is probably 14. But if you get,
he said it's
if you get
5 fish in a 16-foot boat.
Huh?
He said it's 5 fish in a 16-foot boat.
I would get a 20-gallon live well.
Yeah, and we have those, Matt. Yeah, Matt. So we have those on the website. So we have an 18. Technically, it could hold 20, but I think it's 18 because, of course, you have a little bit of. You're not going to have the water all the way full. But those are on the website. They're completely all fully welded, drop right into the boat. Super easy to use.
Yeah.
Or you can do the rivet together option 2. It doesn't look as clean because you got to seal up the edges with like 5,200 or 4,200. But we got both of those options on the live wells. So yeah, minimum. Mike's right on the money there. You need, at least 14 to 16, if not the 18, 20 gallon live wells there. So if you got any questions, let us know. Jump on the website, check it out. We got some Rivet Together waterproof boxes too on the super sale for Black Friday. So I don't know what sizes are on there, but I know there's some that Nate has already pre-made up that you could also make into a live well. So a couple good options there for you.
Go back to that question about the attaching wood to
yeah,
framing.
bring that up
Yeah,
here.
can you pull that one up?
Yep. All right, S Motorboat. When attaching wooden deck onto aluminum framing, should I try to attach from underneath or go through the top?
Motorboat's an awesome name. All right. Should I try to attach? What do you think, Chris?
I would go from underneath. That's just me, though. I'd use real short screws, drill a hole through your aluminum for your starter hole, and drill up into your wood. But that's just me.
Yeah.
You can also do countersink rivets and do it from the top. And I'm assuming that they're talking about doing the wood deck. Yeah, the wooden deck. Mm-hmm. So plywood onto aluminum framing. That's how the
really hard to do
production boats are done.
I would love to do it from underneath, but you're going to run out of space to even do it underneath. There's not going to be enough. By the time you're done, there's going to be, unless you just are a perfect mastermind, there's not going to be a whole lot of space where you can just tactfully do it from underneath. I know it would look way cleaner. You would never see the screw.
You can do it with a right angle drill.
Yeah, I guess so.
A lot of it's going to be, can you get to the spots that you need to drill, though? If you got a lot of hatches and stuff in the way.
You have a liner in there. How are you going to get to the T-frame that's going to, where the deck's going to be sitting? So generally, we almost always have to drill from the top into the aluminum. But like John said, a countersink rivet, a long enough one, I don't know where you get that from, or maybe my MasterCard. I use.
No, they got them on Amazon.
Rivets.
Yep, Amazon. The inch and a quarter rivets. I think,
inch and a quarter. I've seen some 3/4 inch ones.
Inch and a quarter countersink rivets, huh? I need a
those ones weren't countersink, but you can be in that. You can do 1 inch rivets up to inch and a quarter, and then you just countersink the hole down and just use a regular rivet.
That's right. It does flatten out.
Gets below the hole.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how they do the production boats.
Yeah. Huh. To dovetail off that, guys, Dave's got a great follow-up question to that. Wood frame to aluminum, what screws are you going to use? So obviously we're talking about countersink rivets, but if you were going to screw it down, what's the go-to?
Stainless or coated
stainless nut and bolt.
The nut and bolt, yeah.
Yep.
If you can get a bolt underneath, if you can reach underneath the T-frame and get to the other side, I would use a nut and bolt all day.
A lot of times screws will vibrate loose, so you'll see like a lot of like front decks, typically up in the bow where they would attach like your trolling motor to. Those will be held on in place with a small like a 1024 threaded or 1024 countersink screw with a nylock nut on the back side is typically what I've seen when I've been tearing apart like deep V hull smoker crafts and Sylvans and things of that nature. And they're always tight. Mm-hmm. They never vibrate loose. So
that's actually what I use a lot in the crucial spots. That exact stuff, 1024 countersink with a nylock.
Yep.
Cool. If you guys got more questions, drop them in here. I know we got a couple of the good ones in the queue here. But if you got questions about your build, make sure to drop them. If you're new, I saw we had a little jump in live viewers here. So if you're new to the chat and new watching the stream, make sure to drop in the comments where you are from. And then also give us a thumbs up. Helps us out.
Hit the like buttons, guys. Help us trend.
Yeah, hit those like buttons. But also drop where you're from, where you're watching across the Tiny Boat Nation. We're giving away 2 tbnation.net gift cards tonight. And then as well as if you jump on the website and enter our Black Friday giveaway, first thing tomorrow morning, we're going to be giving away the last $500 worth of gift cards to our Black Friday week sale, where we got pretty much everything you need to build your boat, from some awesome brands and some awesome homemade manufacturers, like our dry hatches from Nate or our jump seats from Eric, all supporting the TV Nation community. We got those all on super sale on Black Friday, so jump on there and check them out. But you got questions, guys, drop them in here. We got another 10 to 15 minutes here on live stream to help answer your questions and for you guys to jump in and try and win. So,
can I
also
jump
wanted
back
to
into
add that the likes are not
with the
for our
attaching wood?
self-esteem. They are for the chat trending out to people so they can see it.
yeah.
Just want to put that out there. You know.
It does make us feel good, though, when you get some likes, though.
Yep.
All right.
I'm going to jump back in about the attaching wood to aluminum. There's one guy brought up the riv nuts. Those are also a good option as well.
Oh, yeah, the rivet
but
nuts.
they do end up getting a little bit more expensive and a little more tedious than just a nut and bolt. But yes, riv nuts are a great
Rivet nuts
option
work.
also.
Expensive though is the game for sure. Yeah, but I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go ahead and try and get a bolt into a spot where you're never gonna be able to reach again, yeah, rivet nuts may be your only way.
Yep.
Harbor Freight's carrying them now, pretty cheap.
Harbor Freight carries stainless steel rivet nuts.
I don't know if they're stainless. I know they carry the riv nuts and riv nut gun.
If you ever want to see those things come back out, stainless, or I guess you get NIC's compound if they rust, but they will rust if they're not stainless for sure. I probably would still use NIC's compound anyways. It gets a little complicated. Yeah. Starts getting
Dave, those screws are called 1024 countersink screws, stainless steel with nylock nuts.
Would I ever consider making a reality show for TBN? Nah. Reality
Keeping
shows
up
are drama, man. None of those people have
keeping up with the Kardashians, Mike Lopez style. I like it.
No, that would be a lot of that crap is staged. It's all fake drama. I mean, how else are you going to make like working at a pawn shop exciting? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're not all about that. We're low drama down here.
We're gonna put Chris in some yoga pants and get him drinking wine on Friday night. That'll be building a boat with some red wine. That'll be keeping up with the Kardashians, Tiny Boat Nation.
Pinky
style.
up wine drinking.
Yep, pinky up.
Inverness, Florida. Sweet.
Awesome.
Argyle, Illinois.
This is another great question from TPL. TPL, thanks for dropping in some great questions tonight. So what kind of time do you budget for a build? And how do you get enough marital equity in the bank? I love this. A great question.
What is marital equity?
That's easy, Mike. Marital equity is ask for forgiveness, not permission. That's all there is to it. It works every time.
You know, you learn something new every day, I guess.
But yeah, time frame. I mean, what do you guys think for an average DIYer? What's that time frame looking like for a?
If you're going super complicated, that's like 150 hours. If you're going nice, 90 hours. If you're going, I don't know, 40 to 50 hours will at least build you a boat. But I mean, if you're trying to do, this depends on how
much tools you have too.
Yeah,
you know, the right tool makes it can save days, literally. So yeah, TBN. It's all about time or what tools you have and how much time it's going to take.
Yeah,
for the average person, probably a year or more.
No, not a year. A year, really?
I'm not talking about. You got to think, Mike. You're a YouTuber. You do this full time. I'm talking about your average Joe. Like, all right, take my 16-foot boat for instance. I started building it when I still worked full time. Before I started working from home and was doing YouTube full time, it took me 12 total days to strip that boat, get all the paint off of it, and get it repainted. And that was me working a little bit here on Saturday, a little bit on Sunday, and maybe like a half afternoon during the week. So you're talking about 12 days spread out over a couple of months just to get the boat stripped down and painted.
Yeah. I mean, when you only got 2 hours a week to work on it or 4 hours a week to work on it.
Dave Monaco kind of got it there. 6 months. 6 months at least for somebody who's just doing a first time build.
Yeah.
Yeah, long time. That was a long project. This is why we recommend you have 2 boats. you have the workhorse and you have your project boat.
Yep.
It's not a bad plan. That's to make sure. Let's see. Just trying to go through, make sure we answer everybody's questions. So if you do have questions, guys, we got another like 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes here. So if you have more questions, drop them in. I'm just going through the chat real quick to see if there's questions we missed from some guys, because I want to make sure if you're on here watching us, we want to do you the favor and answer your question. So
6 months to a year on that last question is pretty much a good solid answer. I'll say that in the comments.
Yeah, but 24/7 Boats also put out there every build comes with its own timeline, depending on the person. So you might be a super focused person who might knock it out in 3.
That's like the 4th comment tonight I've seen about catfish build. Like everybody wants to see a catfish build.
I'm getting to a guy. I swear it's coming. The catfish build and the bay boat build, or flats boat, they are coming. I swear they're coming.
Yeah, and look at if you want to connect with us on the website. If you're interested in a catfish build, Mike's got one down the pipe.
I have the hull for it. We need funding though.
Connect with us on the website too, because we do have some customers from Nate that he's built a catfish boat for. So there'll be at least some examples of what you might be looking for to build. And then also look up John Boat Modified Facebook group, Matt Webb. He's a big time catfisherman on the Potomac River. And
so what makes it an official catfish boat?
Yeah, we would need input for you. I have no idea. What is
big live wells,
a gigantic
100
live well, and then what?
Lots of rod holders, all the rod holders on the back, like those rod holder setups on the back that are like, you got the hook tree with the rod holders.
All right, so I'm putting rod holders on my boat, and I'm putting like a 110 quart Yeti cooler on there with a bubbler. Does that count as a live well? So officially, I technically got a catfish build going?
Yeah,
kind of. Well, Nate's catfish boat that he just did, I think he said the live well was 55 gallons. So,
yeah, those things are monsters up there.
But the rod deal, I think, is the biggest thing for those catfish guys, because they're mostly in some type of current in a major river system, and they have the custom welded or customized rod holder system, and you got to think that they're running 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines off the back, in current. So that back of the boat is a lot more important than the front of the boat. Like we think about boats from the front going back because we're all thinking about deck space and all that kind of stuff. But like catfishing guys, they're like, okay, how can I build the back of the boat to be most useful to fight big fish and then be able to hold 7 rods that are all fishing at the same time. So
we can do that. It's coming. It's coming. We also wanted to build a bow fishing boat. We might do a combo. Bowfish, catfish combo. Oh, we'll figure it out.
That's what my 16-foot boat is right now. It's bowfish and catfishing boat, and eventually duck hunting too.
Yeah, Nate just jumped on. Nate, we got like 3 more minutes left, so we'll catch you early next week in the shop on Ryan's.
75 gallons. I was off, Chris.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight. I mean, how many? 8 pounds per gallon? What is the weight? What is the equivalent for water weight? Isn't it 8 pounds per gallon or something, or 6 pounds per gallon?
Yep, 8 pounds a gallon.
So that is, somebody want to do math better than me because I barely passed.
For what?
I'm using my
it's a bunch
phone right now, so
75 times 8. That's 600 pounds of water. Yeah, 600 pounds of water in a catfish live well in one of Nate's builds. My goodness, that's.
You also need a big motor, or your after you fill out live well up, you're boating in a plane. You need 100 horse. I don't know. You would need something.
Yeah. Another.
You see the questions on the Warriors Guide?
See. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is a great question. So I'll pull this up real quick. If you guys want a question answered, we're gonna do after this one. We're gonna do 2 more questions, and then we got to cut it off for the night, guys. But as we're running out of time here, but I want to be able to help answer you guys. So that's a great catch there, John. Let me get this pulled up. Warrior's Guide to Living Free the Coyote. I love it. All right. I have a 95 Lund Pro Bass. The 20-gallon gas tank is under the front deck. If I were to relocate to the rear, would it overweight the rear?
How big is the gas tank?
20 gallons.
20 gallons. What do you need a 20-gallon gas tank for? Like, where are y'all driving to?
A Lund 95? Like, how big is the boat?
It's a Pro Bass, so it's like my Mike. It's kind of like my boat. It's the Tracker TB18.
It's 18 feet long?
It might not be quite 18, but it might be like 17.5, but it's laid out laid out kind of like my boat.
How big is the motor?
Yeah, ask us see what if
I
you're
mean,
on
a
the
20-gallon
chat.
gas tank to me, like you're running a 150. Like, what are you running?
Yeah,
You gotta be running a pretty big motor to need a 20-gallon.
I'm gonna look that up real quick.
There's a lot of people that'll fish long distances too, so they need a lot of fuel. I could burn 20 gallons of gas in one fishing trip.
Really?
Because some of my spots were over 20
That's
miles
a
away
lot
one
of
way.
gas.
Wow,
Yep.
I mean,
that's crazy.
So when you
I
run
try
the
not
river,
even to
the
burn
big
through
river
6
system,
gallons, so 20 gallons is a lot of gas.
We don't have that
Yeah.
problem with mud motors. I can run all day long on one tank of gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, until you're driving over 100 miles in a day to go fish on the water.
Hey, Mike, so check this out real quick. I'm gonna drop this up with the here. So the Prove Bass Lund is literally like Tracker knocked this boat off to make my boat, the Tracker TB18. You know,
Is
so
there Johnny Morris for you?
Yeah, so it's essentially like my boat. So you're looking at a boat that needs a 90 horse or a 75 to really be usable.
Okay, so probably minimum 90 like yours. I mean,
Yeah.
you have a gigantic gas tank.
I have a 42-gallon gas
is
tank
huge.
in my Prove 18. Yeah,
so maybe a 20-gallon is needed.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I don't burn a lot of
you have
fuel.
yours right underneath the back deck. It kind of sits. Your tank sits underneath the subfloor.
Yeah,
Like,
my
huge.
tank is
Big
built in.
monsters thing.
Yeah, my tank is built in the dead center of the boat, and it's actually in the rear, maybe set forward 8 inches from the back of the bilge, so you can access the back of the bilge.
Yeah,
but
then it goes all the way to the center of the boat. Yeah, to the right underneath the subfloor, and then it stops right at the deck, the front deck. It stops right there.
Yeah, so it's like a back third to back half where all that weight, the weight distribution is. So if you're doing that, if that's under the front deck, you know, I'd be okay with moving that towards the rear, but
keep it center and keep it low.
Keep it centered, keep it low. That boat probably sits a little bit butt heavy as it is, a little ass heavy. So I would definitely, if you have the chance to take it on the water and put some weight in it, like even if you just fill up the, if you clean the gas tank out, just fill it up with, some water or something and take it out to the boat ramp and see how that boat sits. Because the last thing you want to do is put that gas tank in there and you move it around and you go put it on the water. And then next thing you know, your boat's sitting like this and you're having, it looks funny. You're having issues with it. So I would, if you have the chance, don't take the risk of moving that much weight around in your boat without testing it out. So,
yep. Solid advice. Absolutely.
Yeah, don't take that risk because that's a big decision.
Of weight.
Yeah,
there's just not a whole lot of things that are going to equal 20 gallons in displacement weight on your boat. I mean, how much is that? That's quite a bit. That's
8 times 20, so 180,
160 pounds.
Yeah, roughly. 160 pounds. So it's just like adding another person. Yeah, adding another person in your boat. So, yeah, definitely.
It's a whole person. It's a big deal.
All right, let's go through some more questions here, guys. We're gonna do 2 more questions before the end of the night. Actually, Chris, if you want to look through the questions real quick, I'll run through one last giveaway deal here.
Let's see.
So, but if you guys are joining us, just join here late, like Nate did here on the chat, or Derek. Jump in tvnation.net, enter our giveaway, and tell us where you're from here in the chat. We're going to give away some gift cards tonight in the chat as well on the website. First thing in the morning tomorrow, giving away the last of those $500 worth of gift cards for our tvnation.net Black Friday week. So please jump in there and let us know so we can hopefully get gift card winner. So we're going to do 2 more questions here. So
I just want to compliment Chris on his nice blue fish tank in the background. It looks very nice.
Looking good, isn't it?
Do you have a bass in there? What do you have in there?
Nothing right now. It's my new reef tank. I just got it set up this past week.
Nice.
It's very.
So this is going to be my. It's going to be my new sit all day long and do customer service on the phone fish tank. So I have something to look at instead of trying to silently watch TikTok while I'm answering the phone all day.
Mike, you're very right. It's like a human mosquito trap. It's very pleasing to watch.
All right, question. What we got?
Yep, you got any good questions here? Do you see anything good?
I see one on YouTube. The L Star Gel says, I have a 1990 18-foot Procraft. I am trying to get some suggestions with how to redo my front and rear live wells.
What are the live wells made out of? Are they HDPE?
They're probably glass, Mike. That 1990 Procraft is a glass, a wooden glass.
Is it like the mold? Is it like a molded boat
Probably.
where it's all just?
Probably.
Oh, great. Okay, second question. Can you reach the pump? Like, can you reach the plumbing or the wires at all?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's it's tough in those boats to reach the plumbing.
Yeah.
I wonder how they did it. You look at how they did it, and I wonder how they did it. So I don't know.
It's for sure a glass boat.
We need pictures. Can you send it? Can you send us a DM via Facebook? The pictures.
He said it's plastic, and
it is plastic.
Yeah,
so it's HDPE. Okay. Is the mold hollow enough to where you can move that or get it out without cutting up the mold? Like, are you stuck with that thing? Like you're just stuck with it?
It sounds to me like it's going to take a lot of fiberglass work to reposition them. Since it says it is a glass boat, they are plastic live wells. So, I mean, you can move them wherever you want, but you're going to be familiar with how to fiberglass and gel coat. A good person to talk to about that would be, well, he did say
Jeremy,
no
right?
to something. Yeah, talk to Jeremy Wakefield if it is a glass boat.
We're gonna have that guy on the chat next time. We're gonna.
He needs to be.
He's been
here today.
He's been in the chat. He's been in the chat.
He has in the live stream.
He has bad
service. He got bad service in his shop. So he tries to go live on TikTok and you can't watch it because his service is not the greatest.
All right.
But he says cut a hole in the locker beside it to reach so he can reach the plumbing as long as he cuts a hole. But depending on how you want to have it laid out, you're going to have to do some fabrication and some plumbing and get in there. So definitely talk to Jeremy.
It's a big deal having to remold fiberglass and how to do it. I mean, if we're talking about like what's harder, learning to weld or getting all the stuff to weld versus learning how to remold fiberglass, remolding fiberglass is easier.
Yeah,
I would think
cheaper too.
So it's not undoable, but you just gotta. There's tutorials on YouTube also. We don't talk to any of those people because they're boring, but you can watch them, and they're very useful to watch, and they know what they're doing. So
fiberglass isn't hard.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say.
Go ahead, Nick.
I was just to say the fiberglass. If you have the option to do the fiberglass aluminum hybrid, like that's if you can access it and you can take out what you need to take out, and you're going to keep that boat for a long time, that would be the route to go.
Dude, like if you cut out the whole front deck, the whole top.
Well, or at least
just cut out what you don't want that's in fiberglass and rivet in your aluminum.
Yeah, you would run. That'd be the easiest route if you're planning on keeping that boat for a long time. Because that's the biggest pain in the butt with those old fiberglass boats is the way they designed them. Nothing was modular. It was all built into the boat. And so if you ever wanted to edit anything, you have to chop fiberglass, and it's a pain in the butt. And the wiring harnesses are garbage. And I had a 1983 Skeeter Starfire, and I spent probably half of my 16-year-old life trying to put that thing back together. It's not worth it. If you can just chop it out. I didn't even think about back then having like an aluminum. There was nothing like this around back when I had that boat. So I would go with the aluminum hybrid option if you have the option. So.
I gotta go, guys. My truck's gonna die. It just told me
see you, Mike.
My lights on any longer.
See you later, Mike.
All right, guys.
See you in TBN.
All
right. Hey, I had a question that I missed earlier, and this guy just asked it again. He was asking if I'm going to do the casket boat build. Yes, that is coming. Hopefully, I'm going to get started on it before Christmas.
I've seen the Facebook post of that company in Arkansas that makes those. It's pretty. Like the funeral. They're not functional, but they're the funeral ones. They're pretty funny. I can't wait to see what you come up with, man.
I need to get it done because I'm tired of everybody that comes to the shop and they like look over in the corner. They're like, "Is that a casket over there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man."
Oh, that's funny.
We do know when you might need it.
I do see another good question. This will be a quick one to answer too. TPL S97 Supra says, if you don't have a year to do a build, what do you recommend paying someone to do? Best bang for your buck or avoid the headache? I have my opinion.
Somebody do the whole thing.
Yep. Yeah. Either pay for what you want for somebody to custom build it, or go to Bass Pro or any of your local places that sell boats and buy a brand new one, because it's going to be about the same price.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's better just to pay somebody that knows what they're doing to do the full thing versus you banging your head against a wall. It just depends. Do you have the money, or do you have the time? You know, it's like which one, and how custom do you want it? You know,
you will save quite a bit of money by doing it yourself. But if you're going to pay somebody to do it, it's a horse apiece whether you buy an old boat and rebuild it or buy a brand new one. So, but you lose out on some of the options, and it'll be a lot nicer if you pay somebody to build it. But
yeah, it'll be exactly the way you want it, which is what all of our guys here, Nate, Eric, you know, everybody here builds a boat for someone to the spec, and it's super cool because you get everything you've ever dreamed of in a boat versus buying another stock bass tracker that probably has welds that are breaking before it ever gets out of the driveway at Bass Pro Shops. So,
well, my 2021 tracker wasn't too bad, but I will say the first week I had it, I did have all the decks tore out of it, so I could redo some stuff.
So. I do have one last good question for the night, because Goran in Florida is a TBN faithful here, and I want to make sure we get him answered. When installing an aerator pump through the transom, how far out away from the transom do you cut off to wind on the screen for the freshwater screen?
Approximately 3/4 of an inch after the nut. Okay. So those screens don't have very much thread. They're probably 3/8 of a inch thick plastic, and then you got the screen that sticks out around it. So if you go 3/4 of an inch, you'll be safe. You can always cut it shorter, but you can never make it longer.
Yeah, awesome. So Goran, I'm glad we could get you hooked up, man. And then also for the guys that are asking, I know we have multiple guys in the stream that are asking about the fiberglass to aluminum work, and referring to Jeremy. Jeremy's 24/7 boats. You see him here in the chat line. But what we're talking about is having Nate's drop-in lids or Nate's drop-in aluminum live well system, essentially chopping out the fiberglass and dropping that in and riveting that in, versus having to mess with the fiberglass side. So Jeremy can walk you through that. He's already down here in the chat. So you guys hit us up on the website. If you have those questions, go to tbnation.net. Contact us, and then we'll get you in touch with Jeremy. Go make sure you go subscribe to his 24/7 boats YouTube as well. But yeah, any of those kinds of questions, we can get you in touch with the right people to talk about it a little bit more. So let's see here, guys. Let's do one last question, and then let's kick it off for the evening. So
we have one about Coast Guard regulations.
Great question.
Scroll back up.
I saw that one. That's a really good question.
Where was it?
Here we go. JW, I got it pulled up.
Any complications to builds with Coast Guard regulations? Actually, most of the builds that we do and that people, in Tiny Boat Nation that I see do are actually above Coast Guard regulations. And it really depends on your state where you live. Like, in Georgia, you can build a homemade boat completely from scratch, go take it and have it tested and inspected, as long as it meets all the requirements and you've got the appropriate safety gear inside, which is going to be, depending on the size of the boat, you may have to have a fire extinguisher, a flowable PDA or PFD, lighting, and all that kind of crap. As long as it's all there, they'll slap a sticker on it and say it's good to go. Now, other states it's not like that, but the biggest thing is, if you're not out doing anything stupid that's going to get you inspected in the first place, then you don't really need to worry about Coast Guard regulations anyways. Most of us ain't going out in the ocean with these boats. If you are, God bless you. Y'all are crazy.
I love it, man. Well, I think
that's saying something coming from you, Chris. I thought you were going to ride with me.
I don't do it. most of my boats don't even have registration on them when I take them out. I'd be like, this is for research and development. We don't need no registration for this.
I thought you were gonna say your next job is a inshore surf boat, mudtail boat that you're gonna take out and surf, like those guys that do the beach launching.
I do plan on taking my 16-foot boat out to the ocean. That's gonna happen, but it's gonna be on a calm day. It ain't gonna be on no day where you got 4-foot swells.
I love it.
Hey, Matt, thanks for that information about the homemade boats, because I love to build myself homemade boats, and I'm moving to Florida. So that information about not having to get inspected till they're over 17 feet is perfect. I know my threshold now.
Yep.
That's funny. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wind down the chat here and wind down our live, but I want to make sure that we give away those 2 gift cards that I promised, because on YouTube, it is very hard to contact somebody if they don't have a channel. If they just have a username, you know, like they're just watching videos, it's almost impossible to get a hold of them. At least it seems like from when I tried from the live from 2 days ago. So I'm going to run a random pick here through all of our comments. And if you're still watching, make sure that you connect with us so we can get you your gift card for this weekend. So anyone to give us a drum roll, or maybe, I don't know what you guys do in Georgia. Maybe you guys slap your hands on pigs or something. I don't know, but give us a drum roll real quick, and we're gonna pick 2 winners here on the YouTube live stream. All right, I got my eyes closed. All right, Heath McDaniel, you're our first winner for a $50 TBNation.net gift card. So if you're still watching, and I'll make sure I post it in the comments too, so that you get it dinged on your YouTube. So Heath McDaniel, you're our first winner tonight for a $50 TBNation.net gift card for our Black Friday sale going on right now. And then let's do one more. Let's give you one more shake here and see what we come up with. Let's see. We got John Carpinetti. So 2 guys there winning $50 gift cards. John Carpinetti, if you are watching right now, you're still on, make sure to contact us, tvnation.net, claim your $50 gift card for this weekend's Black Friday sale. And then for the guys that didn't win, you're still watching, bless your hearts, but you can actually still win. So jump on the website and you can enter, and then first thing tomorrow, we're going to do the last $500 of those gift cards. So if you haven't done it, jump on there, and let's see if we can try and help you build your boat. So any last parting words from JDS Outdoors or Send It John Boats? Anything last you guys want to say?
Well, I keep saying a lot of thank you for your time, guys, in the comments, and I want to say thank you guys for watching. Because without you guys watching, this would be absolutely pointless. So from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you guys watching and bringing on the comments. We like to learn from each other because we don't know everything. We still learn a lot.
Yep. And make sure you go over and check out the TinCanCrew channel and everybody that's involved in that. We use that to work with each other. So, and we help each other grow like that. You know, like my channel being mostly around mud boats and duck hunting and stuff like that. I don't have the same viewers that all the bass boat guys do, and vice versa. So it's good to share information and share viewers and have everybody, you know, turned on to different styles of videos. So definitely go check everybody out. Yeah.
We're going to do the live stream, guys, upcoming more on the TinCanCrew channel, so we can collaborate with everybody on there. So if you're not subscribed, please do jump on there and subscribe to the TinCanCrew channel, so you can see more of Chris and John's pretty faces. I noticed everybody here besides Mike has a beard. We're gonna have Mike get a beard.
No, I've seen Mike. No, he does not need a beard.
We're gonna have to glue one on for him. We'll give him a little strap on one. You know?
We'll cut mine off so he can have it. I'll mail it to him in Arizona.
Give him a little strap on beard.
We'll need to do another live with 24/7. So
yep. Jeremy, we need to do
Jeremy needs to be on here. We had a lot of questions about fiberglass.
Yeah, we need to do a fiberglass special. One night where it's only talking about fiberglass and aluminum conversions and all that jazz. Totally agree. And if you guys have any ideas for lives you want to see, just jump on the website and contact us and say, hey, I would love to see a live about this topic. And we'll put it together. And we'll get guys, we'll get everybody that's got the knowledge for that and help you guys learn some more. So, but yeah. So we really appreciate everybody thanks so much for joining us tonight, guys. You know, and if you need stuff for your boat build and you want to save some money, we got that Black Friday deal going on. Or if you just want some cool hats like the Tiny Boat Big Deck, these left. But this is my favorite hat of all time, and I'll wear it until the thing falls apart. But,
yeah, I love my shirt. I wear that shirt everywhere.
Yeah, if you want to show off your tiny boat but your big deck, then please. We only have a few left. We need to order some more. So jump on.
Get some larges. Quit buying so many, not so many larges. It's like everybody in Dayton was large.
No, that's yeah. We need to order some more apparel. But yeah, jump on there, guys, if you want to grab some. We do have on the Black Friday sale. So, but much appreciated. Thanks everybody across the Tiny Boat Nation. We're just super grateful. Thanksgiving gratefulness here is grateful every day that we get to live in the world where A, we got some dang freedom, but 2, we get to help people build their boats, and that's a huge blessing because almost everybody in our tin can crew, either it's a side gig or it's a full-time gig to be able to help support people build their boats, and that's really cool. So it's a huge blessing to be able to do that. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining me, Chris. Thanks for joining me, John.
Yep, no problem.
Nick.
Appreciate it.
Awesome, guys. All right, everybody, have a good night. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Talk to you later.